Good morning, traders. I am Emily Bonney, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Wednesday, April 17th. The uncertain path of future rate hikes seems to be weighing on market sentiment. Yesterday's stocks ended mixed but close to flat after commentary from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell during the regular trading session. The Dow was the day's only winner, lifted in part due to United Healthcare and the company's earnings beat. The Dow kicked its 6-day losing streak and added 63 points, or 0.17%. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ both ended in the red. The S&P 500 shed less than 0.25%, and the NASDAQ gave up 0.12%. Bill, let's get into today's action with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Hi, yes, good morning, Emily. I'm watching the S&Ps. We're up 0.24%. That's a quarter of 1%. That's nice. It's positive. That's green. It's mostly being done by, you're seeing some good activity in Europe off of corporate updates, earnings reports. We've got some good earnings reports that came out last night as well. The economic calendar is really light today. Beige book data is due out this afternoon, though. One of the big things hitting the market this morning is the Biden administration is looking to triple tariffs on Chinese steel and aluminum products. And there's talk that the U.S. and the U.K. are expected to announce a new round of sanctions on Iran. See, the new round of sanctions on Iran is not a big deal because there was already big sanctions on them. But it is something that it's an olive branch for Israel not to retaliate against Iran. So, that's you're seeing some weakness in those tensions. They're de-escalating a bit. So that actually really is a big positive story. Shares of UAL are higher on that strong earnings report. ADSK, Autodesk, they're weak as they reported that they're going to be late with their annual report. That's not good. Remember, they got some accounting probes going on there at Autodesk. Powell's comments yesterday, hey, they're pushing back the idea of summer rate cuts. Inflation has edged higher for 3 months in a row. A lot of that's due to oil. I mean, oil's really been, volatile to the, trending to higher. You started seeing this October, and now you've seen 3 months in a row of higher inflation. When oil starts to, now that the, oil's kind of peaked a little bit, we could see maybe oil pull back, which would lower inflation, which could give us 3 months in a row of lessening inflation, which would be good because remember the CPI average for 12 is a 12-month average, and if you start taking out those 4% and replace them with 3%, you're going to be lower inflation for 3 months in a row, and then the Fed rate will institute a rate cut. We're looking overseas. Let's talk. The DAX. The DAX is up 84 points or 0.48%. Shares of Adidas are strong. They delivered a strong earnings report. We're looking at the FTSE the FTSE index is up 0.69%. That's 53 points. The London UK inflation readings fell to 3.2% for March. That was a little higher than expectations, but still positive. And you're looking at the CAC, it's up 102 points or 1.29%. LVMH, a luxury retailer, released strong earnings. So that's good for, the CAC index. And that's why you're seeing, these European indexes push higher. Last night in Asia, we saw weakness in the Nikkei, dropped 509 points or 1.32%. Sentiment among manufacturing in the country eased in April. As the weakening yen is pushing up import costs. The Hang Seng was flat; it closed higher by 2 points. But China's Shanghai, jumped 2.14% or 64 points. Now the key here is Chinese regulators signal that there's not going to be a wave of delistings. Which caused a real boom in growth stocks. So you're seeing, positive momentum in tech stocks in the Shanghai market. So that was good news when they came out and said that. We're, keeping an eye on oil. Oil is, down about 0.5% this morning. WTI's at $84.94, and Brent's at $89.53. API stockpiles data last night showed a build of 4.09 million barrels last week. That's bearish for oil prices, but the key will be today when you get the official numbers coming out 1 hour after the market opens. So that's something to keep an eye on. And that's really what I have for you in terms of a morning market update, Emily.
Bill, in there, you did mention that reports from corporations have been boosting the markets and the overall sentiment. Again, light on the economic calendar, but we're still going to follow along with that as well. And we're going to get to the day's other market moving news. Now we're going to turn to that earnings action that you mentioned. A couple of interesting reports there. So give us a rundown of what we should be watching when it comes to earnings.
Start off with United Airlines, ticker UAL, Uncle Apple Larry. These guys beat by 42 cents, and they did that on higher revenue, and they gave good guidance. Stocks up 5.42% this morning. And we're talking JB Hunt, ticker JBHT, John Boy Henry Tom. They missed by 30 cents, and they did that on lower revenue. JBHT is down 7.46% in the pre-market. Travelers companies, ticker TRV, Tom Richard Victor, they missed by 21 cents on lower revenue. Stocks being hit by 3.19% lower this morning. And Prologix, ticker PLD, Paul Larry David. I did like this one going into earnings, but I didn't love it. It was trading a little higher, but now it's down. I mean, they just met expectations, but they did it on higher revenue. Stocks now lower by 3.04%. It was higher after the earnings, but has since pushed back a little bit. Upcoming earnings reports that are upcoming for this afternoon. One of the big ones, we got International Business Machines, that's ticker IBM, India Boy Nancy. IBM is their EPS is $1.59, and the expected move here is 6.50%. You also have Las Vegas Sands, ticker LVS, Larry Victor Sam. Their EPS is 63 cents, and the expected move is 4.53%. Did you get Discover Financial Services, ticker DFS? Tom, David, Frank, Sam. They're releasing tomorrow morning. Their EPS is $2.96, and the expected move is 5.35%. Then Equifax, ticker EFX, Edward Frank X-Ray. Their EPS is $1.42, and the expected move here is 7.16% when they release, Emily.
We'll be following along with all of those earnings. And now we're going to get to the day's economic events, a couple of reports, a little bit of Fed speak. So, Bill, what is going on in terms of the day's economic events?
Well, at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, we're going to get the EIA oil stockpiles reports. Wouldn't be surprised to see another build in oil inventories. That would be bearish for oil prices. At 2 p.m., we get the Beige book. That's economic activity among the 12 regional Fed banks. In terms of Fed speak, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be hearing from Loretta Mester, and then at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time, Fed Bank Governor Michelle Baumann will be speaking. But that's what I have for you in terms of economic events happening today, Emily.
Bill, as I mentioned each day, you follow that earnings section and those economic events using your NewsWare, setting it up for alerts for your earnings, for different economic reports, and for that Fed speak. You're able to categorize all of that type of news and follow the information as it comes out. You also set up alerts for other types of news like merger news, guidance news. You group stocks together like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks. So what else do you see as possibly moving the markets today?
Well, I'm looking at my Dow stocks, doing a quick data check. I'm showing 4 stocks lower, two unchanged, and the rest are higher. So, that's positive going into today. You're looking at your FANG stocks. They're all trading. They're all showing, gains. That's positive going into today. So I am kind of excited about what the possibilities for a strong uptick today. Talking about some of the news that's on the tape, look at the FANG stock, Apple. Apple's considering making some of its products in Indonesia. Okay. Amazon, stocks trading higher by, 0.6% this morning. There's a report out there saying U.S. Prime membership was up 8% in March. That's nice to see. Netflix, we're seeing some gains in Netflix, up 0.6% this morning. Price targets are being raised into earnings. I'm just concerned here about their subscriber growth. I mean, I feel that their subscriber growth could be weakened. Remember, they had that password sharing crackdown. Well, that was last year, and they've been benefiting on it quarter after quarter. It's going to end sooner or later, and this could be the quarter that it kind of ends. So I'm a little cautious on Netflix. But the major brokers are raising price targets. But the brokers are raising price targets. I shouldn't say the majors. I should say the brokers are raising price targets. Tesla, ticker TSLA, they came out and asked shareholders to re-ratify Elon Musk's $56 billion payout. And it's going to be tough to get that through. I mean, 56 billion is a big number. And I see that Tesla is set to announce an investment in India of $2 to $3 billion. Yet Musk gets paid $56 billion. Wow. Dow Jones 30 stocks, Boeing, ticker BA, it's trading higher this morning. It's about plane deliveries right now. Plane deliveries are as weak as can be. Boeing delivered just 3 planes, just 737 planes as of April 11th. And Q1, they delivered only 83 planes. I mean, these Fed inspections are really taking a toll on delivery times. They got to get those delivery times kicking back up. But, when you get the Fed, inspecting every plane, it's going to take a little bit of time to get that process in line. So I'm cautious on shares of Boeing right now. We're talking Intel, ticker INTC. I see Mobileye, because Intel's a big investor in Mobileye. They're launching their speed ADAS upgrades to worldwide. This is for their automatic driving capabilities. In terms of merger news, TPR, this is Tapestry. The FTC is preparing to sue to block Coach's parent Tapestry's $8.5 billion deal to buy Michael Kors, the owner of Capri Holdings, ticker CPRI. So that deal may not happen. Another interesting one is Para, ticker PARA. Ellison, this is the son of Larry Ellison. He's the owner of Skydance. They're making the bid for Para. He just gave close to $1 million to the Biden re-election campaign. Close to $1 million. Now, he's trying to do this deal. He's going to need regulatory approval. Regulatory approval is tough, but he just gave a big buyout. Just gave a big donation. So, and hopefully that deal will work. So it looks like the deal will happen, but his deal is where he pays Sherry Redstone $2 billion and gets a lower price for the stock. So this is actually bad news for shareholders. And he's just hoping this goes through without any, fight from the FTC. Yeah, I don't like the deal, but that's me. They got Apollo Global Management was offering $30 billion, so we'll have to see what happens with Para, ticker PARA. In terms of guidance news, UAL, Uncle Apple Larry, they see Q2 adjusted EPS $3.75 to $4.20. Street estimate was $3.76. So yeah, that's a nice guidance figure. Appian, ticker APPN, Apple Paul Nancy, they see Q1 revenue coming in at 149.8 million. Street estimate is at 149.45. That's an uptick. Abbott Labs, ticker ABT, Apple Boy Tom, they see Q2 adjusted EPS coming in $1.08 to $1.12. EPS street estimate is $1.12. Little light there, but overall it wasn't a bad earnings report. And that's really what I have for you in terms of news hitting the tape this morning, Emily.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. It is now that time of the show for the Trade Talk pick of the day. Bill, what is your pick of the day today?
Hey, you know what? I got to go with International Business Machines, ticker IBM, India Boy Mary. Listen, they're releasing this afternoon after the bell, and their EPS is $1.59. The expected move is 6.50%. Look at yesterday's call volume, 13,460 calls versus 5,638 puts. It's more than 2 to 1. Call open interest, 243 calls versus 754 puts. Positive. Major brokers do like the stock. They're tilting positive toward it. They've been doing some price target raises, so that's good. For this deal thing to work out, I really want to get in, at under 184. I think they're going to do a beat. I think you're going to see a pop. I just hope to be able to get into the stock under $184, this morning. But that's my pick of the day. International Business Machines, ticker IBM, under 184, Emily.
Bill, looking at your data ahead of earnings and being picky on your entry price strategy, you followed for the last couple of days and with yesterday's pick. So coming up, we're going to do a recap on that pick of the day to see how it went. But ahead of that, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Brian's Way expands deep TMS access to Israel. That's ticker B-Way, Boy, William, Apple, Yellow. Children's Place, ticker PLCE, Paul, Larry, Charlie, Edward announced $90 million in new unsecured financing provided by majority shareholder. Alcoa, ticker AA, stocks climbing on, White House talking about the higher tariffs for Chinese steel and aluminum. I saw that coming. Sage Therapeutics, ticker SAGE, announced phase 2 study did not meet primary endpoints. Ooh, that's negative. Lilly has a drug out there, ticker LLY, that achieved primary endpoints. That's positive. Snap, ticker SNAP, EU regulators asked TikTok for information on launch of TikTok Lite in France and Spain. Teva announced an FDA approval of a drug, TEVA. Boeing, Ryanair hit back in a dispute with Italy's antitrust regulator, which this week ordered the Irish budget carrier to stop limiting or blocking sales of its flight tickets by travel agencies. Ryanair expects Boeing to deliver 40 new jets by mid-July. Wow, that's a lot. Ford, ticker F, the automaker was recalling about 500,000 of some of its subcompact SUVs and pickup trucks in the U.S. over loss of drive power due to a low battery issue. Microsoft CEO is visiting Indonesia at the end of the month to discuss possible investments in the country. That's interesting. Take-Two, TTWO, they're going to be laying off about 5% of its workforce. Toyota, ticker TM, car maker recalled more than 135,000 Prius hybrids in Japan and suspended taking new orders due to a problem with the rear door handles. That's all I'm seeing this morning, Emily.
Okay, Bill, before we sign off today, let's do the check-in on yesterday's pick of the day, which was Abbott Labs. They did report earnings this morning. They reported an EPS of 98 cents. The expected had been 95 cents there. Revenue for the quarter came in at $9.96 billion. Analysts were only looking for $9.88 billion there, so they beat on both fronts. You did give us that note during your NewsWare alerts on their guidance, which was slightly below but close to in line with expectations. Yesterday, I saw the stock climbing. There was a nice pop there in the evening. It was up again this morning. A couple of chances for a win. Bill, how did your call work out?
I got my win out of Abbott Labs, ticker ABT. The stock opened up at 108.84 and fell to 108.14, and then it just climbed higher for the rest of the day. And it actually hit a high of 110.33. So there's your 1%. I mean, it closed at 109. So again, compared to the opening price, you got your 1% there as well. And then this morning, I did see the stock, trade 111.94 this morning after the announcement, because it wasn't a bad announcement. It was just the guidance was a little light for next quarter, but for the year was strong. So ABT was a winner. Apple boy Tom, got to be happy with it.
A win there, Bill, and we will check in with you tomorrow about today's IBM pick of the day. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning at NewsWare's Trade Talk, when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Bonney, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.